I got to talk about Brand New Man turning 30 this year. Was there a
Wow.
moment, because it goes back, right? Everyone in hindsight will say, well, instant success and they hit pay dirt. I'm sure at the time it didn't feel like instant success, but was there a moment when that song and that album came out that you realized my life might be changing a lot coming up here in the future because things are really taking off? Was there a moment that you could see the tide turning to be like, I'm about to go to a different level here?
Yeah, I mean, instant success, most people don't realize I was 36 and Ronnie was 38 years old the day we met. Um, I mean, that's to think we were going to have a 20-year career when we're almost 40. That just doesn't happen, especially as a duo, a couple of guys who have never met before. This record company guy introduced us on a Tuesday and convinced us that we ought to try and write together, that he liked our songwriting as individuals, but he'd already signed the boy singer. Alan Jackson was on Arista, so he didn't want another boy singer, he wanted a duo. And we're like, we don't even know each other, we're literally sitting at lunch going, this doesn't make any sense. See if you can write. So that was Tuesday, and Thursday we wrote Brand New Man. That was 2 days later, and the next day we wrote Working on My Next Broken Heart. So those songs were our first two #1 records. And then Ronnie had already written years before Neon Moon and Boot Scootin' Boogie,
Wow.
which had just been sitting around doing nothing. And so we were actually on, it's funny because Janine, Ronnie's wife, called American Airlines. We were flying to visit, radio stations and see if they liked our music at all. It's what record companies do. They send you out there and trying to play our song for people and play them our video, which wasn't that great. But man, they were all telling us that it was good. And again, being in the business for 10 years at that point, you have a hard time believing what anybody says because people will say you're great to your face, and then they turn around and go, yep, doesn't have a chance. And Janine had called American. We're on the plane about to get off, and they go, ladies and gentlemen, we have two young upcoming stars today who have a #1 record, Brand New Man, just topped the charts. And we just looked at each other and went, good grief, this just doesn't make any sense. And it blew up there pretty fast. It was like, 11 or 12 weeks or something, where now, as 40 or 50 weeks for a song to get up the top of the charts is not unusual.
No, that's true.
Yeah, so we had 4 #1 records in a year, which is really unheard of. And in those days, in a couple of years, we just kept screwing up and having hits, and we had a show together pretty quick.
Yeah, no kidding. And when you're in the room and you're first demoing that song, was there that? Did you know? You know what I mean? Because when you're in a concert and you hear someone debut a song, you'll know you'll go, ooh, that's gonna be a great one. Do you know that when you're writing a song, you go, that's probably gonna be a really great
one? What I realized with Ronnie was he had those 3 lines of the chorus. I saw the light, I was baptized by the fire in your touch and flame in your eyes. He might have had even that much of it. I know the idea he had for the song was I'm a changed man. And, then I threw out, how about Brand New Man? And he goes, I like that. And I go, I really like those 3 lines. I go, that's different. He had been in Oklahoma. I had been writing songs for a living for 10 years in Nashville for other acts and, just whoever was hot at the time. But Ronnie really hadn't been exposed to what is kind of a formula writing in Nashville. And for me, it was real refreshing to have just kind of new writing blood in the room, and it got me excited. And we wrote a lot of songs, when we got fired up, and it was that creative process was a lot of fun. Brand New Man was a song that I felt really different. It was really different, and it felt like it just had a lot of energy. And of course, Ronnie just sings the hell out of it. When he first, really leaned into the microphone, I went, ooh, this is sounding good.